This is N8VS. I'm over here at Happy Valley Comic-Con, Year 4, here at the Nittany Sports Center. Awesome. And we got my new friend, Ray Hurd. He's a voice actor from Dragon Ball Z, Overlord, Sacrificial Princess, right?
And the King of Beasts.
Fire Force, and My Hero Academia. Great lineup. That's really good for your record.
Yeah, thank you.
All the big ones. That's tight.
Yes.
All right,
now Fire Force. Fire Force is out there too. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. Glad to see you active, honestly.
Yes. Being active is important.
All right, Ray, I got some voice acting questions for you if you don't mind answering.
All right. I will do my very best, sir. Very best.
Let's dip into it. What originally got you into voice acting?
Oh, short answer, I was something I always wanted to do. Something I wanted to, Mel Blanc and those guys were awesome. Bob Bergen, and so many others. Hank Azaria, of course, from The Simpsons. You know, you listen to those voices and you just really, I was taken and enamored with them, and something I always wanted to do and accomplish, but it's not so easily laid out. So it's in terms of path. So I found out there was a radio school near me. Radio, that is the word. And I got into radio, but not really wanting to do radio because I was more interested in the commercials and things like that than I was the actual radio work. So I found out that I started looking for other alternative ways to do voice acting. I started doing voiceover while I was in radio school. Did some radio work. Also, and from there, I learned how to make an audio demo. When I found out that Funimation was not far from me, I found it really difficult to find submission email. Afterwards, turned it in. It being my demo, and 2 submissions, and 6 months later, I finally got a response. And my first voice acting gig was Azuma of Fairy Tail. And for those who have not seen him,
let's talk it up.
This is he, and he is this.
This is he. This is him.
Yes,
he's the guy.
And so, yes, I did my best Kevin Conroy impersonation. For those of you who know the voice of Batman, and that was the beginning. And then my next character was Admiral Kizaru, then Kumasi the zombie teddy bear of Empress Perona, and it kind of went on from there. And it was right away. I did 4 characters my first year, broke a record. Well, I can't say broke a record. I more or less say I won an award that year for being breakthrough voice actor of that year, because I did so many characters at once. And yeah, man, I didn't even know that was a thing. So I was just glad I beat Chris Sabat in a category. Because you know how awesome he is. So yeah, he was really cool. I mean, he wouldn't be breakthrough voice actor, but then again, you know, who knows. So anyway, yeah, that was how I got started. And I really wanted to be an on-camera actor, more so at the time. But I had friends and people who cared about me that looked at it and said, you know, you already got credits as a voice actor, you know, stick with that. And reluctantly that transitioned over into other work.
Okay, good. I do like how you start off with, it's going to be a short answer.
Yes. Well, trust me, there's a short answer. There's a longer answer to
origin story time.
Yes.
Alrighty, Ray. Dream role.
Dream role. Well, I think I'm playing it. I'm blessed and fortunate to live doing the work that I've always wanted to do since I was a child, and that is not necessarily the easiest feat for people to accomplish. It's not impossible, but it wasn't something that I went straight to. You know, life happens. You find yourself in doing so many different things that you didn't really want to do, but you do what you got to do to get by. You know, and I was taking many different avenues that would have and could have been very lucrative for me, or not. But it you know, like I said, God blessed me. I got to do everything I really wanted to do, and that was be in the voiceover world. And I've also been able to be on camera. I've met some of my heroes, and it wasn't a bad experience. You know, they say never meet your heroes. You know, at least for me, I have not had a bad experience yet in that regard. I think I only had one, and that's the story for another time. But one bad encounter, but it was more or less my fault because of a misunderstanding. So regardless of that, I am the dream job is me being able to put on the costume of each of these characters that I've been blessed and fortunate to play whenever they call me in for these roles.
That'd be impressive if you cosplayed. Went to do line work, you're in this fits.
Right. Well, no, the crazy part is I've done enough characters where I can.
Yeah,
I've got options that fit me that I can actually play.
Oh, yeah.
Like the King of Beasts is huge, you know what I'm saying? So I could play him. Charon, he's got the thing about him, I wanted to cosplay him like last year or something, but I was like, look, how built will I need to be to play him? Because when he came back for season 3, he's got extra pleats in his chest. It's like, how much more muscle? And then somebody told me something that was genius. They were like, just spray the muscle, spray it on. I was like, okay, I can do that. Yeah. So, and I just need a gi and a row. It's just pretty simple, really. And, and he and I already share the same skin tone. I just need a wig.
That's really
on this head, it's not that hard.
Keep the hat on.
Yeah. Well, it's not that hard to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to start with a blank slate. You know what I mean? I have no hair, so that's easy.
Works for you.
Yeah, but yes, dream job. I'm doing it, man, and yeah.
Awesome. He's doing it. Alrighty. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the media industry?
Okay, so I was thinking 5 years in the media industry. That's like the questions you get when you're trying to start out and you get yourself going. You're like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I know. It sounds like a real cliche.
Yeah. Well, I'm already doing what I really want to do. Just more or less, maybe in I don't know. I really can't say specifically because, like I said, I'm already doing what I really want to do. If anything, maybe producing.
Ooh,
technically I'm on the production end. Because what we do is what's called post-production.
Yeah. So
everything is already produced. Voiceover is added as a post-production item. So, I'm already into post-production, but I would love to be on the production end. I've done that on some cartoons because most cartoons, like let's say, like American cartoons, for example, American cartoons. They're building the character around your voice and actions and things like that. So that's a production element. Most voiceover is post-production, but that would be more of a production element. I've had a chance to be a part of some of that, and I'd like to do more of that. So maybe in 5 years, doing more of that motion capture.
Ooh,
I would love to do motion capture. I've had opportunities, but it didn't pan out. So I'm hoping maybe to be able to do some motion capture work. That's I did get to meet Andy Serkis and talk to him about some of my journey in that, and that was really cool. The godfather of motion capture, if you're wondering who that is. And so more production, I'd say. Be on the production end.
Here's the hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Most underrated role you wish got more attention.
Most underrated role that I wish got more attention. That's a good question. Underrated character to get more attention. I don't know, man. Off the top of my, you know what? Maybe more. Do a Dragon Ball. Z. Well, not Z. I'm sorry. Dragon Ball, but the adult Goku. And do a Dragon Ball that's more geared towards the universes that weren't in the Tournament of Power.
Okay.
The ones that were kept out because they were so powerful. And then bring back the 11th and bring back the 7th, and those universes, collide, and so you learn more about them. Now, I can't say they're underrated. They were overrated in the show.
Yeah.
But a little bit of an opposite to your question, but I think that's the only thing I could think of, off the top of my head that made, makes sense in terms of more, more of a background on why this was and what the deal was with them and those characters. So
Good solid answer.
Okay.
All right, big guy, and we're on the last one. We're gonna say this at the exact same time. All right, we're gonna say and the big one.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
And the big one.
Advice for future voice actors.
Learn how to act. Learn how to act. Because acting is the foundation upon which it takes to perform as a voice actor. You cannot act if you don't know how to act, which means working on your craft, understanding what it means to take instruction, You know, learning understanding you won't understand how the industry works until you get involved, but learning some of the terminology, you know, what it means. So that way when you're tasked with taking instruction, you'll know how to take instruction. There's nothing more frustrating from a director or for a director to have to do than try to direct someone that does not understand what he or she is telling. You know, you don't want to be in that position where you just don't know what to do. They're telling you what to do and you don't know what that means.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like any job. You know, every job has its lingo and what it means to do a certain task or what that task means, or you know, the titles or whatever that go with it. And so you can apply that from your own life and consider that when you're thinking of a job like this. You want to know you want to know how to perform, and you can't know that unless you really do a deep dive. So if you're in high school, for example, or middle school, or wherever you may be in life, you know, if you're able to get into some type of acting courses, I mean, schools already provide that information, or that way. They'll allow you to go into, you can be in a drama class, you know. You don't necessarily have to be on stage or perform on stage, but you could take the course, learn some of the ABCs to acting and performing and what it takes, because you may find out that's just not in your wheelhouse, and you may be better as an animator, you may be better as an artist of a different kind. You know, art takes on a lot of different shapes, and it doesn't necessarily mean voice acting just because it's the popular genre. And it doesn't have to be for cartoons. You know, an actor can perform in all kinds of different ways. You can do commercials. You know, voiceover entails a whole lot of different things. So there's a lot of ways you can go with it. You know, you have online voice acting. You have, like I said, voice acting for cartoons and animation. You have voice acting for e-learning, where you either play a character in whether you play like a little kid or a grown-up, or you have industrial, you know, where you do things for jobs and for companies that have that need to get benefits package information out, or need to have, you know, they constantly have copy that they have to give, or computer-based learning for the employees. There's all types of things that voiceover covers. So, you know, but knowing how to perform, you can't do any of that unless you have that base of knowing how to perform. So that's the biggest of it. So that'll be the advice I would give you. Learn how to act.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
It was great talking to you. It was great talking to you last night as well.
Yes.
This has been N8VS. This has been Ray Hurd, everybody. And we're at Happy Valley Comic-Con 4th year. Thank you for listening. Catch you at the next one.
All right, man. Yeah, tag me in this.
And now we're hitting record.
All right.